Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark?
Somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine.
Sheryl Swoopes seems to be Caitlin Clark's biggest critic.
We can't make it seem like she was assaulted. Why like a Stephen A. Smith? It was that important to you to run the Kennedy Carter hip check, right? That was everywhere. But yet, you didn't even discuss what Alyssa Thomas did to Angel.
The former WNBA star has been vocal about her dislike for Clark. Swoopes will appear on Angel Reese's Unapologetically Angel podcast, and fans flooded the comments with support for Clark. Recently, Clark was poked in the eye by Dijonai Carrington during a playoff game, sparking discussion. The video sponsor Morgan & Morgan, a personal injury law firm, helps people get fair compensation after accidents. Before the season began, Swoopes dismissed Clark's abilities, even laughing at the idea of her leading the league in assists.
For people to come at me and say that I made those comments because I'm a racist, like, first of all, black people can't be racist, but, like, that's the farthest thing from my mind, that I speak up for people that look like.
Swoopes mocked Clark's chances of leading in assists by joking and using laughing emojis. However, last night, Caitlin Clark broke the WNBA record for most assists in a single season with her 317th assist.
Just be the female version of Steph Curry.
I mean, you hear people talking about you and throwing out those comparisons. Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm because of your shooting prowess.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm still kind of in a dream, in a real world. I mean, it's kind of crazy, obviously. Those are the players I kind of grew up watching. Obviously, Steph Curry's kind of changed the game, and he's a player I grew up loving. I still love. I watch him all the time. So it's kind of crazy seeing all those NBA players, WNBA players tweet about you, talk about you.
Just a rookie record. It's the most assists ever for any player, rookie or veteran.
White girl in Iowa do it to a bunch of black girls. Well, of course. That made it like, oh, that gained my respect. That gained my respect.
I hear you.
Like, right. That's like, oh, she didn't do this to some other little white girls that was over here in Colorado, wherever. She did it to some girls from LSU who we thought was some dogs.
Defending champs.
And put them on their knee and spanked them.
People revisited Swoopes' earlier comments and highlighted how wrong she was. Even though Carrington isn't a Clark fan, she acknowledged Clark's talent. The reactions to Clark's record-breaking moment were huge, making people wonder how Swoopes feels now.
You got women's basketball ahead of men's basketball. If you ain't in a Steph Curry shape, that's how she plays, bro.
Right.
You
I think she can give you 10 points in the NBA game.
Nah, she gonna give you more than 10. She can shoot, and she got work, bro.
It's still
what?
Athleticism from the men is overwhelming.
It ain't tough no more. You can't.
Seeing Clark hit such a major milestone must have been frustrating for Swoopes.
Man, hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes.
So for people to come at me and say that I made those comments because I'm a racist, like, first of all, black people can't be racist, but, like, that's the farthest thing from my mind.
People are calling out Swoopes for her negativity and telling her to focus on her own career.
Tommy's right. It's not just race, though. It's also sexuality. Caitlin Clark is a white heterosexual woman in a black lesbian league, and they resent and are jealous of all of the attention and the shoot.
Clark isn't just leading the league. She's setting records in her first year. It's historic and incredible.
Obviously, I don't, Cheryl Miller, and I don't know all their numbers to know who.
Yeah, it's a
that
bunch
should
of them,
be,
man. You
right?
got Candace Parker,
that's hard to do.
Cheryl Miller,
right,
and Sheryl Swoopes. I mean, people be like, nah.
Generationally?
Yeah, she ridiculous.
She might be Allen Iverson in her era. She changed the game.
Well, she changed the game.
Right, she changed the game from a culture of Steph Curry,
NBA players like Anthony Edwards and J.J. Redick have commented.
LSU, but she's phenomenal. I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever.
Ever?
Well,
I don't know about you. You
ever.
heard of Cheryl Miller,
ever.
Maya Moore?
I said what I said. Ever.
Diana Taurasi.
Reddick joked that Swoopes played at a time when competition wasn't as strong, saying she faced meter maids and lunch ladies. Clark seems to occupy Swoopes' thoughts non-stop.
Challenge has just been the fact that we've only had like 24 days together. I think that's presents a big challenge for our team, especially a really young team and an inexperienced team. So a team that's trying to find their chemistry and how they work together, I would say that's probably the biggest challenge for us. But I think as you've watched us over the course of the first 4 games, like from the first time we played Connecticut to this last time we played Connecticut at home, like there's been a huge difference in how we play and how we play together, and that's just within 4 games. So I think there's a lot of positives, a lot to build off of, but I would say that's probably the biggest challenge to us right now, having to go from, game, practice, game, and really those practice times you can't really do much because you're preparing for your next opponent.
Clark's success appears to upset Swoopes even more. There's a joke that Swoopes might have gone on a drinking spree after Clark broke the record.
It's obviously been a whirlwind. There, hasn't been much time to sit down and reflect on, the journey of the course of my college year and then coming right into here. So, it is what it is. I think just trying to soak in and enjoy every single moment. But yeah, it's definitely been a whirlwind. So just like one thing after the next, but at the same time, I feel like, that's kind of almost better. You just kind of get thrown into the fire, and that's sometimes the best way.
Some think Swoopes may try to spin this into a victim narrative. One person even said they didn't know who Swoopes was. Will she ever acknowledge Clark's talent or stay bitter?
And if I said to any of these people who think Caitlin Clark is not the Rookie of the Year, I'd say, who would you want to start your franchise with? Now, I'm not going to put Asia Wilson in there. I'm just saying between these two. Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark.
It's doubtful Swoopes will give Clark any credit. People joke that Swoopes will still be fuming about Clark's success 10 years from now.
Average attendance when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road, 15,300.
It seems like jealousy. Swoopes and others can't handle how much better Clark is compared to other players, past or present.
Athletes. Caitlin Clark effect has now hit the WNBA. It has been announced.
Refused to acknowledge Clark's achievements, yet many still want something from her success. Clip 16.
Ball of the weekend, the best player in America, the best shooter in America, Caitlin Clark.
If Swoopes and her former teammate Cynthia Cooper understood Clark's impact, they'd see she's bringing in a lot of money for the WNBA.